What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Reaper RC. Today we got a little bit of fun for you. Nothing too crazy, but changing things up a little bit on what's sitting right here in front of you. Kind of back to the Gladiator series. I know this one's going real slow and nothing real crazy has changed on it yet, but we're getting there. Trust me. Just trying to do this thing one piece at a time instead of really going after it. And I don't know if you guys remember, but this one we're trying to keep more on the scale side than the crazy crawler. I have my belly dragger over here, which is a monster. Love that thing. This is kind of like a project, just kind of having fun with it, seeing what comes of it. It's really awesome little car. Man, that thing is amazing. If you guys have not tried it, you should definitely try it. This guy is going to be my more scale, but still capable. We're getting there slowly but surely, and as you guys can tell, I have not changed out that front bumper yet. The more I look at it, the more I don't like it. So there's that. Also, my MST RMX 2.0 little drift car. There's some local guys here to me who are pretty heavy into that. Shout out to Team Bubble Milk. They've really been helping me out and teaching me as much as they can. So I do have a video on that coming out. Don't have a date on it yet, but I'm getting there. It also kind of looks cool back there. I like those wheels. It's on a little car stand. That's why those wheels are sagging like that, in case you were curious. Anyway, let's get into the reason that we're here is to make some changes to this guy today. If you guys remember in the past, I talked about changing out these tires because they're a little bit massive. I mean, they look cool. I'm not a fan of these wheels, the trail beadlocks. Not trail beadlocks in general, just these specifically. This is just an extra wheel I had laying around, and I decided to throw it on this. I really dig these Power Hobby beadlocks that I have on the SCX24, and I really dig these trails. It's just these were a backup, and they're gonna have to stick around for a little bit longer until I find a set. I think it's Maz Designs. Check him out on Instagram and his website. He makes some really great stuff. He's got some wheels that I was looking at, so we'll see. So today we're changing out tires. I was floating around between a couple different ones to put onto this, something a little bit smaller to make it a little bit more scale. And I was looking at the Hyrax tires, which are really popular for being really good. But they're just super small. I wasn't ready to commit yet, so I ended up going with these. These are actually, let me see, RC four-wheel drive. Cut the little sticker that was off on there. They're mud terrains, Mickey Thompson's, I'm sorry. They're actually a Baja terrain. Let's see exactly what they're called. I had it. Oh, now I'm not seeing it. Basically, they're Baja tire. It might be on here. I'm just probably not seeing it. Oh well, yeah, it's their Baja tire. It's a little bit smaller than the grippers that I have on here. Not a ton, but moving in the right direction. That much of a difference hopefully will change a little bit of the rubbing. They're about just as wide too. Those little knobs stick out a little bit further, but if we can get rid of a little bit of the rubbing, I'll be a happy camper. So I'm gonna do those today. Also, if you remember, I did the plus 4mm axle extensions, but when I got them, they did not have these wheel weight spacers. So I'm gonna be swapping those out today, add a little bit of weight to this thing, stabilize it a little bit more, and that's it. But before we get into all that, I wanna show you guys something. I did make a video about it. I ended up not publishing it because honestly, two other people other popular YouTubers made great videos about it. Actually, we'll shout out, it's Cape Crawlers. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. And 2FM RC, amazing channels. I love killing time watching both those guys. They have really good information. 2FM with his crazy custom stuff. And always testing new stuff out for us, which pushes this hobby further along. And he makes the mistakes before we have to. Greatly appreciate watching him and the stuff that he does for this community. And Cape Crawlers, He does some really wicked stuff. The guy is all about the flex, and the aesthetics of his rigs are through the roof. Actually, check out Cave Crawler's Instagram. Those things are amazing. Anyway, back to this guy. So what I did is, it was something I had been talking about for a little bit on this channel. I got these extended links to kind of extend the rear end out, stretch this bad boy, and I threw them on and I tested them out a little bit. They look amazing. This is exactly how this truck should have come from the factory. It's the perfect length for this. And with this length, this thing is a monster crawling. It is seriously, all I've done to this is what? The wheels, tires, and I think the links. I think that's it. And this thing seriously can compete with the Reaper back there. It does get a little top heavy still, but this made a huge difference. So definitely some brass and some springs in the future for this. I know Trill already has some good stuff out. Just real quick, the negatives that I had on these is same things you can hear from Cave Crawlers. He spoke the words perfectly. They kind of bind up. It's because of the shape, they're kind of big and clunky. But if you look here, it's like a flat surface rubbing up against a flat surface. That's not gonna allow for it to really twist and flex. I did unscrew back at these screws all about one turn to try and free up a little bit of space, but just didn't seem to do it. So we'll keep messing with it a little bit. If I find the card of the guy that I got him from, I'll leave it here in the video somewhere. It was MQ on eBay. I'll find it and I'll put it up here by the end of the video, but I want to share that with you guys. That's looking awesome. There's my old body there, and just for a quick update on the Reaper. Oh man, I love this thing. Just changed something. That looks terrible. I need to get rid of that. Changed something up today. I've been having issues with the mounting point. I told you guys a little bit about that. I'm gonna need to get a new setup for that, but I got that put back on for now. As a stock battery, I was playing with it. Oh, the new receiver. Can't really see it. It's the Futaba. It's overkill for this thing. I don't know exactly what. 304 SB, I think is what it is. I needed something. I wanted something to where I could use my Futaba 4PM on all of these. I found out later on that each one of those is insanely expensive. Oh, magnet literally just came off. How frustrating is that? Yeah, I'm getting a new chassis. I'll be ordering one soon. That'll be super exciting. Anyway, the Futaba 4PM is an amazing receiver or transmitter. I think it's probably better suited to things like drifting and racing, not so much a crawler transmitter. It'll get the job done. It'll move the truck. It's super comfortable, super high quality feeling. The screen on it's great, easy to use once you kind of get the hang of it. But the additional receivers are not cheap. One of the main ones that is recommended for that from Futaba is like $60. Could even be $69. I could be wrong. So to think about putting a $60 receiver in each of these is ridiculous. I don't care how much money you have, that's ridiculous. Especially when the FlySky GT5 is $60, $69 I think on Amazon by itself. That's the same price as one of the receivers. So I didn't want to jump into another radio, another transmitter, but it honestly would be cheaper to do that than to buy a different receiver for each of these. I don't know, we'll see. So far I'm loving it on this, and we'll leave it to that for right now. I'm not dying to have them all on this, but we'll get to it. Anyway, let's throw some of these things on and check it out, see how it rolls. Might just take it outside. I don't really have much to crawl out there, but watch it driving around in the sunlight while we still have it. I'm gonna fly into time lapse and we'll get this done. All right, guys, I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera. Even though it's a time lapse, it's still terrible to watch and incredibly boring, but I did want to do a size comparison with it on the wheel before I do that. So I did a little bit of time lapse. It'll probably be too fast to see, but there it is. You can tell it's a little bit taller. Oh, there you go. That's a better look. A little bit taller and about the same width. Seems pretty noticeable like this though. So I'll get these finished up. We'll slap them on the truck and that'll be the next thing you see. All right, guys, we got that stuff thrown on. Those wheels always take forever, as you guys probably know. But I think it looks a lot better. It's sitting really tall right now, so I'm probably gonna adjust the suspension at some point, but I really like the way that it looks. It looks a lot more scale than it did with these big old guys. So I think that's a win on this. I really like the compound on these tires. They're really sticky. They feel really good. Here is a pile of foam that you can see I took out. The foam that came in those was really hard. I just did not like the way that they felt at all. I'm probably gonna end up venting these too because they're still pretty stiff. Actually really stiff. I'm definitely gonna be venting these. And then that's it. I think it came out really good. Unfortunately the sun went down, so I'm not gonna be able to get any footage outside, but I'll do a quick little run on the course in here, and that's gonna do it. All right, guys, here it is. I did a little test run to make sure everything was working, and didn't really get to do much, but we're gonna start from the top here, which is pretty unusual, especially with the length of this thing and it being kind of top heavy. We'll see how she goes. This thing is really heavy. You can see it in the body when it tries to move. Oh, very nice. That brass is already coming in to save us here. That's usually where it would have flipped. Let's get repositioned here. This has never really been a struggle, this area. Getting on it, if you're not at the right angle, it'll just roll. As you can see, it wants to. These tires seem nice and grippy though. You can tell a pretty big difference. Right there. And then you can see the weight saving us from those brass extensions. Very nice. Let's get down this hill. One-handed driving fail. Let's start back here on top. Might be a first for this thing. It did it. Check that out. I think the weight and the smaller tires did make a big difference. Wow, that was cool. All right, so I'm gonna play with it a little bit more and we'll wrap it up. Let's try this one again, why not? Staying planted in the rear, that's nice. axle there. Definitely think some diff covers would be nice on this thing, some brass. A little bit more weight underneath. I'm really liking these tires. RC four-wheel drive Baja. We'll find a better approach than that. One thing I'm noticing with the smaller tires is that front axle, the diff, is actually getting hung up a lot easier. We lost a little bit of height. Seems to be making a little bit of a difference. I think it's a good trade-off though for the overall look. That's what I think of the winch. See if we can get this thing turned around, come down. If we come at too sharp at an angle, the rear end will just flip going over that little bump right there. So we have to really try and work it. You can see it already wants to. We're getting brave here. Ooh, trusted a little too much. Let's see. Try and reposition it back up there at a little bit better of an angle so we can see that it'll descend without flipping. It's a little bit better. Nope, not at that one. Again, from all the way back here. Same angle. All right, that's where I wanted to start. That rear end wants to come over so bad. Very cool. I don't even have a chance. The second it gets all four tires planted, it just like lays back on its bumper. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching the video. I know it wasn't anything too crazy today, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anything you guys want to see specifically with this Gladiator build, let me know. Shoot it down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get that for you guys. Honestly, anything I'm open to. Shoot me some suggestions on where to go next, and we'll see what we can get done.